Have you ever found yourself stuck in a mental loop, replaying scenarios, questioning decisions, or worrying endlessly about outcomes you can't control? Overthinking has a way of gripping us tightly, pulling us into an exhausting spiral of doubt and analysis. It's not just tiring, it's paralyzing. But what if you could break free? What if there was a way to reclaim your mind and focus on what truly matters? The truth is, overthinking isn't about thinking too much. It's about thinking the wrong way. Stoic philosophy offers us timeless wisdom to cut through the noise, teaching us how to channel our thoughts productively and find peace in the process. It's not about silencing your mind, it's about mastering it. I know the toll overthinking takes because I've been there. I've spent sleepless nights worrying about decisions that seemed monumental, only to realize later that my anxiety had magnified them far beyond their actual weight. And through those experiences, I learned a powerful lesson. Most of our mental anguish isn't caused by external events, but by how we interpret and dwell on them. Hi, I'm Jason, and you can trust me on this. I have learnt it the long way, the hard way. This video is your guide to overcoming overthinking, grounded in the principles of Stoicism. Together, we'll explore 7 transformative lessons that will help you break free from the grip of overthinking. You'll discover how to balance reflection with action, how to let go of unnecessary comparisons, and how to find clarity in the present moment. So make sure you watch it till the end, because by doing that, you'll make sure you never overthink again. I also encourage you to leave a comment to let me know your thoughts on the teachings. Like the video to help YouTube suggest it to others who might also benefit from it. Making these videos and getting them to the right audience, that is you and others like you, is anything but easy. YouTube has a way of promoting stuff, an algorithmic way that, without fail, fails to promote small channels like us, the ones who create content that might help the masses more than they know. So help us counter it by subscribing and sharing our videos with others you most definitely know will benefit from the wisdom. And yes, turn that notification bell on to never miss wisdom when it comes knocking. Now, I'll go on with the teachings and leave the rest to you, safe in your capable hands. Here's the next entry in our Stoic journal. 1. Action over analysis is bad advice. The mantra "do more, think less" has gained popularity in today's fast-paced world, where action is often celebrated as the ultimate remedy for overthinking. But let's pause for a moment. This simplistic approach isn't just misleading, it's anti-Stoic. Stoicism, in its wisdom, emphasizes the balance between thought and action, teaching us that deliberate reflection is as essential as purposeful effort. Without the deliberate effort of reflection, you're never going to catch the real enemy that leads to injurious overthinking. Who is the real enemy? Our irrational fears and mindless dwelling on what lies beyond our control. I remember grappling with a significant decision in my career. An enticing job offer came my way, promising better pay and a prestigious title. On the surface, it seemed like the obvious choice. I found myself analyzing the move from every angle, weighing the risks, the commute, the team dynamics, and the company culture. The advocates of action over analysis might have urged me to leap before I lost the opportunity. But I knew better. This wasn't about fear or indecision. It was about ensuring my actions aligned with my principles and long-term goals. The job offer was for a senior management position at a rapidly growing tech company. The role came with a significant pay increase, a prestigious title, and the chance to lead a high-visibility team in developing cutting-edge products. On the surface, it seemed like the culmination of your professional aspirations. However, as I dug deeper, I uncovered aspects of the company's culture and expectations that gave me a pause. The organization prized aggressive growth and results above all else, often at the expense of employee well-being and ethical decision-making. The position required a relentless pace, long hours, and an acceptance of practices that, while legal, occasionally bordered on exploitative. I talked to people who had more knowledge on the matter, friends from previous companies who landed there, obviously because they prioritized action over analysis. I came to know the company pushed employees past sustainable limits without qualms and prioritized profits over customer transparency. The more I analyzed, the clearer it became that accepting the role would force me to compromise values I held dear, fostering fairness, supporting meaningful collaboration, and ensuring that my work contributed positively to others' lives. While the job offered external validation and financial rewards, I realized it conflicted with my long-term vision of meaningful growth and ethical leadership. Declining the offer wasn't a rejection of ambition, but an affirmation of my principles, ensuring my career remained aligned with my deeper sense of purpose. This reflection wasn't paralysis, it was prudence. The Stoics understood this distinction. They never advocated rushing blindly into action. Marcus Aurelius himself practiced reflection, writing in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The act of deliberate thought is what ensures that our actions are virtuous and meaningful, not merely reactive or impulsive. It's important to distinguish overthinking from deep reflection so that we don't simply give up thinking about important things and rush headlong into the unknown. It's especially important to start with this idea because what follows in the upcoming chapters will involve a lot of deep contemplation and reflection. Overthinking arises when it's consumed by fears of what lies beyond our control, outcomes we can't dictate, or problems that exist only in our imagination. This is where Stoicism offers a lifeline. Focus your thoughts on what is within your power. Reflect on your intentions and principles, but don't let the unknown paralyze you. Disciplined thought leads to purposeful action. Action is not inherently superior to analysis. Rather, the two must work in harmony. Jumping into action without thought can lead to wasted effort and preventable mistakes. Conversely, endless reflection without resolution leads to stagnation. The key lies in balance. Think deeply, act decisively, and allow each step forward to be guided by reason and virtue. Remember, action guided by careful reflection transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. As Marcus Aurelius said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." When addressing overthinking, don't dismiss analysis as a hindrance. Embrace it as the foundation for deliberate, impactful action. 2. You're not that special. Get over yourself. This might sting a little, but it's a truth worth embracing. You're not that special. It's not an insult. It's a wake-up call, one that can set you free. In a world that glorifies individuality and constant validation, it's easy to get trapped in the illusion that every move you make is under scrutiny. But here's the liberating reality. Most people are too preoccupied with their own lives to give yours more than a passing thought. And that's the best news you'll hear all day. There was a time when I thought my every decision was on display for the world to judge. A poorly worded comment, a failed project, or even an awkward moment in a meeting would send me into a spiral of overthinking. I'd replay scenarios in my head, imagining others laughing, criticizing, or silently judging me. It was exhausting. Every action felt like it carried monumental weight, and every misstep seemed like it would leave a lasting mark. Then, a humbling moment hit me like a brick wall. During a casual conversation, a friend candidly admitted they'd been too caught up in their own stress to notice something I'd been overthinking for days. It was an epiphany. I wasn't the focal point of everyone else's life. I was just me, a person. just as others were just people. The truth was, most of my anxiety stemmed not from others' opinions, but from my own self-importance. Overthinking thrives on the false belief that everyone is watching and judging your every move. The reality: most people are just as consumed by their own worries, insecurities, and challenges. Recognizing this is a profound relief. It means you're free to stumble, learn, and grow without the imaginary audience you've constructed in your head. When I finally let go of the idea that I was under constant observation, I started living with more courage. I tried new things without obsessing over perfection. I made decisions without second-guessing whether they would meet some unspoken standard. And you know what? The world kept spinning, and I felt lighter. This realization isn't about dismissing the impact you can have on others. It's about finding humility. You are important, but not in the way overthinking makes you believe. You are one of billions, part of a vast and ever-changing world. That perspective doesn't diminish you, it liberates you. That's Marcus Aurelius's perspective for you. Stop living under the illusion of a spotlight. Understand your true place, not as the center of everyone's universe, but as a capable, evolving individual on your own unique path. Letting go of inflated self-importance allows you to live authentically, make bold decisions, and most importantly, stop overthinking. You'll discover that life is far richer when you stop imagining an audience and start living for yourself. 3. Comparison is the thief of joy. Do you know the comedy of the modern world? No, wait, not the modern world. Let me narrow it down for you, the current world. Yes, not the 90s, not even the 2000s when comparison took some effort. Turning the television on, for example, turning on the bulky computers as another, going out to the front of the house to collect the newspaper, walking to a friend's who we thought was better off than us. Point is, before we had smartphones and the internet invasion, comparison could still prove to be a hassle. Not now, not in the current times. In today's hyper-connected world, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of comparison. Every scroll through social media offers a curated glimpse into other people's lives, their successes, travels, and achievements. Yet, beneath the polished photos and highlights is a hidden truth. Comparison is the thief of joy. It distracts you from your own path, fills your mind with unnecessary doubt, and undermines your sense of self-worth. To stop overthinking and truly thrive, you must let go of this toxic habit and focus solely on your journey. I struggled with comparison for years. I remember a time when I was relentlessly scrolling through posts from college peers. One had just landed a dream job, another was celebrating an engagement, and yet another had bought their first home. Meanwhile, I felt stuck in my life, questioning every choice I had made. The more I compared myself to them, the worse I felt. Instead of appreciating my own progress, I obsessed over what I lacked, spiraling into overthinking and self-doubt. The turning point came when I realized how distorted the lens of comparison truly was. True, each post I scrolled through felt like a spotlight on my shortcomings, but I was only seeing curated moments, job offers, engagements, new homes. What I didn't see were their struggles, the late nights, rejections, doubts, or setbacks that inevitably accompanied their successes. I had unknowingly turned their highlight reels into a yardstick for my own worth, forgetting that no one's journey is as polished as it appears online. You know what helped me? The Stoic principle of focusing on what's within my control. It gave me clarity. Instead of measuring my progress against others' external milestones, I began to measure it against my own growth. I asked myself, was I learning? Was I becoming more resilient? Was I living in alignment with my values? Shifting my perspective wasn't about ignoring others' achievements, but about acknowledging my unique path. I redirected the energy I had spent on comparison towards small, intentional actions that moved me forward. By focusing on my efforts and appreciating the progress I'd already made, I reclaimed my peace and began to see my journey for what it was. Uniquely mine, with its own timeline and triumphs. By focusing inward, I discovered joy in small victories. I began to celebrate the skills I was developing and the challenges I was overcoming. Slowly, I realized that life is not a race. It's a personal journey with its own pace and purpose. This mindset not only reduced my overthinking, but also brought a sense of gratitude and fulfillment. Comparison blinds you to the richness of your own life. When you focus on your path, you reclaim your peace and channel your energy into meaningful growth. Your worth isn't defined by others. It's found in the courage to embrace your unique journey. Let go of comparison and discover the freedom and joy that come from being true to yourself. 4. Perfection is a myth. Embrace your flaws. The world is obsessed with perfection, and it's easy to lose ourselves in the pursuit of an unattainable ideal. We are constantly inundated with images of flawlessness, from social media's carefully filtered moments to the unreachable standards set by society. Yet the harsh truth remains: perfection is a myth. Clinging to it only fuels overthinking, self-doubt, and exhaustion. Real freedom comes from understanding this and embracing your flaws as a natural part of your humanity. For years, I was trapped in the perfectionist mindset. I remember a time when I was organizing a community event. Every detail consumed me: the placement of chairs, the sequence of speakers, even the shade of decorations. I obsessed over the smallest aspects, terrified that any imperfection would reflect poorly on me. The stress was overwhelming, and I spent sleepless nights questioning every decision. When the event finally happened, it was a success, but I was too drained and anxious to enjoy it. The supposed perfection I sought robbed me of the very joy I had hoped to create. It wasn't until later, reflecting on Stoic philosophy, that I realized how misguided my obsession had been. Seneca wrote, "No man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom, resilience, and growth are born not from flawlessness, but from imperfection." The event didn't need to be perfect to succeed, just as I didn't need to be perfect to be valuable. That realization was liberating. Accepting that perfection is unattainable frees you from the endless cycle of overthinking. Flaws are not failures. They are opportunities to grow and connect with others authentically. When you stop hiding behind an illusion of perfection, you allow yourself to be seen as you truly are. This vulnerability fosters trust and deepens relationships in ways that surface-level perfection never could. Moreover, letting go of perfectionism unlocks creativity and resilience. When you embrace your flaws, you give yourself permission to take risks and make mistakes. Each misstep becomes a stepping stone for growth, a chance to learn and adapt. Life's challenges become less daunting when you approach them not with fear of failure, but with curiosity and courage. Most importantly, embracing imperfection cultivates self-compassion. Instead of judging yourself harshly for every perceived shortcoming, you begin to treat yourself with the kindness and understanding you deserve. This shift not only quiets the relentless voice of self-criticism, but also allows you to live with greater peace and confidence. Perfection is an illusion that shackles the mind, while your flaws are a testament to your humanity. By embracing them, you free yourself from the burden of unrealistic expectations, discover your authentic self, and find strength in your uniqueness. Let go of perfection. It's not where your true power lies. 5. Your emotions lie to you. Stop trusting them blindly. Emotions are a profound part of being human, capable of coloring our perceptions and driving our actions. Yet as powerful as they are, emotions often mislead us, presenting distorted realities and pushing us toward impulsive decisions. Learning to understand that your emotions lie to you and that they should not be trusted blindly is an essential step to overcoming overthinking and reclaiming clarity. Like every human ever born, for years, I lived under the influence of my emotions. When I felt anxiety, I interpreted it as a sign of imminent disaster. When anger consumed me, I assumed it justified my reactions. Each emotion felt like an undeniable truth, demanding immediate action or endless rumination. Over time, this emotional whirlwind led me into a pattern of overthinking, where every small issue became a storm of imagined consequences. The turning point came during a difficult professional transition. I had been passed over for a promotion, and my initial emotional response was humiliation and anger. My mind churned with thoughts. Was I not good enough? Did my colleagues see me as inadequate? I replayed the scenario endlessly, letting resentment and self-doubt fester. It wasn't until I paused and reflected that I realized something profound. My emotions were lying to me. The truth was not that I was a failure, but that I had assigned an exaggerated meaning to the situation. The promotion wasn't a reflection of my worth, but a decision based on factors beyond my control. This realization aligned closely with the Stoic teachings of Marcus Aurelius, who emphasized the importance of acting with certainty when our values are in the right place. Emotions arise as reactions to our interpretations, not objective truths. By challenging their validity, we take control of our narratives. I began practicing this perspective regularly. When anxiety crept in before an important meeting, I asked myself, what evidence supports this fear? What is within my control? When envy sparked at a friend's success, I paused to reflect. Is this feeling helping me grow, or is it distorting my perception of my own path? Each time, the process of examining my emotions brought clarity and calm. The Stoics teach us that while emotions are natural, they must be tempered with reason. It was Epictetus who said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgment about them." By detaching from the false narratives emotions create, we can respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Understanding that your emotions lie to you isn't about suppressing them. It's about acknowledging them without allowing them to dictate your actions. In essence, regulating them. With practice, you learn to trust reason over fleeting feelings, gaining the strength to navigate challenges with wisdom and equanimity. In doing so, you free yourself from the cycle of overthinking and step closer to a balanced, fulfilling life. 6. Detach from outcomes. Focus on effort, not results. Whether it's a career milestone, a relationship goal, or personal ambitions, we often tie our sense of self-worth to the results we achieve. This fixation can lead to relentless overthinking, anxiety, and a constant fear of failure. But as Stoicism teaches, true strength and peace come from detaching from outcomes and focusing instead on what is within our control, our effort. I had been working tirelessly on a project that I believed would catapult my professional standing. Every waking moment was consumed with strategizing and perfecting the presentation, but underlying all my effort was an overwhelming fear of failure. What if the project didn't meet expectations? What if the recognition I was seeking never came? These questions kept me awake at night, and despite my hard work, the weight of those what-ifs left me paralyzed. When the big day arrived, the project didn't achieve the impact I had hoped for. I was crushed, but in that moment of defeat, I began to question my obsession with the result. Was my effort any less valuable because the outcome wasn't as I envisioned? Did the countless hours of dedication mean nothing simply because success wasn't guaranteed? This introspection brought me to the Stoic teaching of focusing on effort, not results. Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This philosophy shifted my perspective. I realized that while I couldn't control how others responded to my work, I could control the energy, dedication, and integrity I brought to the task. From that point forward, I began to approach challenges with a renewed mindset. Instead of obsessing over results, I committed to giving my best effort and letting go of what lay beyond my control. Detaching from outcomes doesn't mean you abandon ambition. It means you free yourself from the anxiety of external validation. It allows you to immerse yourself in the process, finding joy and fulfillment in the act of doing rather than the accolades you hope to receive. This mindset also fosters resilience, helping you see failures as opportunities for growth rather than as personal shortcomings. By focusing on effort, I found a sense of peace and clarity that overthinking had robbed me of. The journey itself became a source of strength and learning. Letting go of outcomes doesn't mean giving up. It means embracing the process with all your heart, knowing that true fulfillment lies in the act, not the result. 7. The present moment is all you have. Live in the now. We replay past mistakes, worrying about what we should have done differently, or we project ourselves into an uncertain future, riddled with fear of what might go wrong. This cycle of regret and anxiety not only robs us of peace, but also blinds us to the only thing that truly exists, the present moment. The Stoics understood this deeply and taught that living in the now is the key to a calm and meaningful life. For years, I struggled with overthinking. After a difficult breakup, I found myself consumed by thoughts of what I could have done to make the relationship work. Simultaneously, I was gripped by fear about my future. Would I ever find love again? This mental tug-of-war drained me. Days passed in a haze of worry, and I began to notice how little I was truly living. A simple walk in the park became an exercise in mindlessness, lost in thoughts of what if and what next. It was during one of those walks that I stumbled upon a bench inscription, "Be here now." At first it seemed overly simplistic, but something about it struck a chord. That evening I turned to Stoicism, seeking wisdom. Marcus Aurelius's words leapt from the pages, "Confine yourself to the present." This marked a turning point in my journey. I began to see how anchoring myself in the present could free me from the torment of my thoughts. Living in the now doesn't mean ignoring the past or neglecting the future. It means shifting your focus to what you can control at this very moment. When I applied this to my own life, I began to notice the small, beautiful details I had overlooked for so long. The rustling of leaves on a windy day, the warmth of the sun on my face, the simple joy of a good conversation. These moments weren't extraordinary, but they were real, and they grounded me in the here and now. The present moment is all we ever truly have. The past is a memory, unchangeable and gone. The future is a possibility, uncertain and beyond our grasp. By living fully in the present, you liberate yourself from the chains of overthinking. You discover clarity and calm in life's simplicity. This shift taught me that peace isn't found in solving every problem or predicting every outcome. It's found in being fully alive in this very moment. Whether you're washing dishes, walking your dog, or sipping coffee, immerse yourself. Let the now be enough. When you do, overthinking fades and life begins to bloom before you. Life is not measured by the milestones you plan or the regrets you carry. It's lived in the small, everyday moments you choose to embrace. So, pause, breathe, and allow yourself to be here now. It's the only place life truly happens. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Let's strive to live better, more respectful lives. Until next time, stay strong and stay stoic.